Only 700 years old, with it becoming officially in New Zealand in around 1907. It has a wild haunted history, from folklore and stories of Taniwha and UFO sightings to actual true ghost stories. Aotearoa is a land to behold. Kia ora guys, welcome back to the channel. Hello, welcome back to Genevasspace. I'm your guide, Neva. And in today's video, we're counting down the top 6 most haunted places in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So some of these locations hold historic significance while others hold tragedy. So let's dive in. Okay, so admittedly, number 6 on our list actually has 2 spots. It has 2 items, so it has 2 locations, should I say. Okay, the first is St. James Theatre in Wellington, and the second is Victoria Theatre in Devonport, Auckland. But let's start with St. James Theatre. So St. James Theatre was actually a theatre built in Wellington, Aotearoa, New Zealand in 1912. It was built by John Fuller and built by architect Henry Eli White. And it was built to house over 1,600 seats. It was actually home and still home to the Royal New Zealand Ballet, but it's also home to a Russian dancer named Yuri, or should I say was home to. The story goes that the Russian dancer Yuri actually fell off the theater rigging, and since then, eerie feelings have been felt in the theater. Some cold spots here and there. Some people say she was pushed, but others say she fell. And so the Victoria Theatre in Devonport, Auckland was also built in 1912, and it was designed to house over 900 seats. So the theater is still in use today, but it comes with a side of fright. I mean, if you want a side of fright with your next horror movie, this would be the place to be, in Devonport, Auckland. Some people say that you can feel Ethel there. And Ethel was a projectionist that actually worked in the theater before she died. So some people have experienced chills, eerie feelings, and they've also experienced random noises in the theater when they are in there. Number 5 on our list of haunted places is actually a story that may hit close to home for some, so I won't linger on it, but it is the story of the Littleton Ghost Girl in Littleton, New Zealand. I actually just heard about this story, what was it, like a few years ago? I didn't even hear about it when I was down in Christchurch. However, the story goes, in 1875, a young girl was murdered and her body was found on Ripton Street. Her name was Isabella Thompson. So Isabella, who walked out of her house to purchase tickets to an event in Riccarton, she was not seen alive again after that. And although the perpetrator was captured, the perpetrator who committed the crime, there is often a small girl seen in the area of where she was murdered. There is also people having reports of a child's voice being heard at night. And sometimes locals stop to help a child, which vanishes right before their eyes. And so number 4 on our list is actually Spirits Bay. It is a local legend. So Spirits Bay, or Pifane, is a local Māori legend. It's located on the northern tip of Aotearoa, New Zealand's North Island on the Aupuri Peninsula. The local legend, or the culture that surrounds Spirits Bay, is basically particularly to the iwi there, and it's a place where spirits of the dead can gather and then go back to their ancestral home. Some people on this beach have reported, or near this beach should I say, have reported seeing spirits walk along the beach and then vanish completely. Number 3 on our list is actually Chateau Tongariro. And this lavish hotel was actually opened in 1929 in the Whakapapa village in Mount Ruapehu, where the ski fields are. And so while it's a beautiful hotel, it has also functioned as an asylum during World War II in 1942. And during 1945, Mount Ruapehu erupted over a prolonged period of time, so they had to move all the patients from the asylum. But the Chateau then functioned as a rest and recuperation center for the Air Force. And although the Chateau is temporarily closed now due to seismic activity again from Mount Ruapehu, people in the hotel have reported doors opening and closing, curtains moving on their own. There have also been reports of being touched, and even some guests have awoken in the morning to find their bags packed so that they can leave. So number 2 on our list, and I'll try not to linger on this one a long time as well, is actually Lake Alice Hospital. So Lake Alice Hospital was actually a psychiatric ward, opened in 1950, and it was completely self-sufficient. So it had farms, bakeries, its own fire station. It was a completely rural psychiatric ward. It closed in 1999. However, staff have repeatedly and previously reported of something touching them, strange noises, and eerie feelings. And even some staff have reported being pushed. And so we finally come to the number 1 most haunted place in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And our number 1 is Napier Prison. And so Napier Prison was built in 1862 atop Bluff Hill, a significant multicultural site. And although it remained in operation for 131 years, it is closed. However, today it's used as a popular tourist attraction with escape rooms. This site was not only a prison, it was a psychiatric ward, it's been an orphanage, it's also been a backpackers, which closed. And with such an eclectic and tragic history, and also being home to the mass murderer Roland Edwards, there's no wonder that it could be the most haunted place in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Even at one point, the last person to be executed there was buried just outside the stone wall. There have been reports of paranormal outbursts, things moving on their own, whispers, voices, people being touched, people being pushed, and things especially get active on the birthday of the mass murderer. I do want to say that right now Napier Prison does hold, what am I trying to say? Napier Prison does hold tours, so you can go on a little tour if you like, after hours. So those were the top 6 most haunted places in Aotearoa, New Zealand, each exploring and highlighting the country's history and folklore and local legend. So I have dropped some resources down in the description box below, as always. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It lets the algorithm know that you like it. And as always, definitely drop me a spooky story down in the comment box below, or a spooky story that you'd love to share. So until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now, and happy Halloween.